All right, for today's video review, we're going to be taking a look at BotBots Series 6 RoboClean from the Custodial crew. RoboClean here obviously turns into a vacuum cleaner, which doesn't make a tremendous amount of sense for the Custodial crew, who are mostly all like bathroom cleaning related, like janitor supply things. Like, I guess a janitor could have a vacuum cleaner, but you wouldn't really use it to clean a bathroom unless you're doing something terribly wrong. Like I hope your bathrooms don't have carpeting in whatever place this is. But it's a cleaning utensil, so I guess it makes a relative amount of sense. It's just a little bit different than a lot of the other things from the custodial crew. But this is of course a repaint of the previous vacuum cleaner one from Series 4, Windbag from the Home Rangers, which I feel like that makes more sense. Having it be a Home Rangers bot, but whatever. I don't really care what teams they're on. And yeah, this is another Series 6 bot that is like pretty unnecessary, I would say, in terms of repaints, because it pretty much does the same thing in the exact same way as Windbag. It's just, this one's orange, this one's blue, and that is the most significant difference. Like, most of the paint apps are, similar, if not the exact same colors in almost all the same places, maybe all the same places. There's a little bit of difference with the face in robot mode, but even that is like pretty minor. So, if you liked Windbag, you'll probably like this one. If you wanted Windbag but in blue, that's pretty much what RoboClean is. The vacuum cleaner mode is all right. I think that it's pretty excellent, except for one glaring obvious issue, which is that there's just a huge gap in the actual vacuum bit in the front, which I feel like really does this BotBot a disservice, because if that was just filled in somehow, this vacuum mode would pretty much just be perfect. But it really does kind of detract from it, because like I feel like if you look at it from the side, it's immediately obvious that it's a vacuum cleaner. But if you look from the front, I feel like that's the first thing you'd notice. So you'd be looking at it for a little while, being like, is that what it's supposed to be? That doesn't make any sense. So I don't know. I wish that they had found some way to fill in that gap there, but what can you do? Obviously, in terms of transformations, the exact same as Windbag. You just take the little pieces of the vacuum here and just bring them down, and then bring the feet down until it clicks into place. And then you kind of want to, just bring it to a point where the feet would be sitting flat on the ground. Kind of does the, not really chicken legs, because I mean this is really where the legs attach, not the knee, but you get what I'm saying. And then the arms just pull up from the side here on sliders, and they can kind of rotate forward a little bit just to keep them out. And then the handle bit here just rotates back a little bit. It can slide up, so you can bring it all the way back, like, dropping them. Bring it all the way back like this if you want. I tend to like kind of leave this up as like a little hood, just because I feel like that looks a little bit better. But yeah, there we have RoboClean in their robot mode. And then real quick, we'll just show them off with Windbag, just so you can see it's pretty much the same here. Like, there's really not a ton of difference. Again, all the paint apps are in the same places. The only difference in the paint apps, really, I mean, there's some spots where it's like it's silver instead of white, or a lighter silver instead of the darker silver. And then if you look at the face here itself, it's a little bit simpler than the eye that was on Windbag, but it still largely has the same effect. Again, I still really like this robot mode. It's weird and it's lanky, but it actually feels, more like robot-y compared to a lot of other bots. I love the way that the legs work. I just wish that there was, I feel like I would have been okay with these legs kind of more obviously meeting in the middle, if for the sake of the vacuum mode, then that there wasn't that gap there. But whatever. Obviously, articulation is just the same. You can kind of rotate the arms up and down. The arms are actually kind of loose on mine, which I guess, I'd rather it be that than the super, super tight tolerances of a lot of the other, BotBots from the Custodial crew and Pet Mob. The legs can go forward and back, although I don't know how useful that really is. And then the feet you can kind of angle as well. But, without a knee, you're not really doing a ton with that, honestly. You can tilt them down a little bit, but, at a certain point, they just kind of lose balance. But yeah, again, mostly the same as Windbag. I mean, I do prefer the more detail on the eye, but honestly, like, it doesn't actually make that huge a difference. It still, gets the same point across. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's probably going to be the exact same score as Windbag, honestly. Like, I'd say robot mode still, I think, is a 5 out of 5. That maybe feels a little bit generous, but that's what I gave Windbag. I do like the more robot-y look, so I'll stick with that. You would be teetering between 4 and 5. So, I'll give it a 5 for the sake of for the sake of consistency. But I do like the proportions and everything like that. It doesn't have quite as much character as a lot of other BotBots, but it definitely gives off that more robot-y vibe, which I do find pretty charming. The vacuum mode, I think I'm still going to give a 3 out of 5. Again, like it would be like a 5, maybe even a 6, honestly, if it was just filled in the front there, but that really kills it. I mean, it still has a lot of nice detail, so it's not like absolutely terrible or anything like that, but it definitely is brought down a few points just by the fact that like the most important section of the vacuum cleaner is just like kind of screwed up just for the sake of having the legs be a little bit more separated in robot mode. Is that worth it? I don't think so. Whatever. And then transformation is normal average, so 3 out of 5, which is going to give RoboClean here an ultimate score of 11 out of 15, which makes them a 3-star bot. But again, kind of on the higher end of the average. Again, with Windbag, they're pretty much the same. I like Windbag a little bit better just because the eye has a little bit more detail, and then they picked out like the white with the dark silver has a little bit more differentiation than the just I'm pretty sure all of the paint apps are just the lighter silver, so they kind of just split the difference there. But those are just like little minor things. Like if I had to pick a preference, that's the one, but they largely have the same effect here. And I don't like that the arms are kind of loose, but otherwise, they're pretty much the same. It's just, do you want it in orange or do you want it in blue? That's the most significant difference between these two. But yeah, if you want to pick up RoboClean, they're available in both one of the 2 Custodial Crew 8-packs and also the Blind Pack 1-packs. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to them. If you enjoy my videos, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing. I do reviews every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Make sure to check me out on Instagram. That's toys.n.art. And without further ado, here we have BotBots Series 6 RoboClean.